Hi everyone, welcome to another video and thank you for watching. So today I thought I would do a video based on my kit. So to give you a little bit of a rundown, I am a bridal makeup artist. So I focus in wedding makeup, makeup for brides, makeup for bridal parties. That is generally the actual role that I tend to go towards. I run more of a bridal makeup business. I do often do a little bit of things like prom makeup or if needed like editorial makeup, but I do primarily focus on bridal makeup. So my kit I'm going to show you today is more designed for brides, for bridal parties. It is going to be a lot more sort of natural glam makeup products. There isn't necessarily going to be anything too out there, as it is designed for wedding day makeup. I'm going to show you how I store my kit, what products I use, what brushes I use, any tools or accessories I might use, and just give you a little bit of a rundown on what I own currently. I do have a little bit of a backup storage section of makeup with different products in, but the products I'm going to show you today are more of literally what I would use 95% of the time. So this is the kit that I am currently using. I have got, obviously, as you can see, the big box underneath as well as the little storage on top. I use quite a few storage solutions from My Kit Co. I have got their brush bag and I also have another one of their bags which I use, as you can see. The rest of my makeup I sort of just use and store in my main kit. I wasn't too sure where this kit was originally from, as I got it honestly on Facebook Marketplace. The reason that I chose this kit was I like the idea of the drawers, as I find it's a lot easier to work in smaller places with the drawers. I've tried with other kits that you sort of spread out and have open, but there have been many times that I've not actually had access to a table, which have been very, very difficult. So I did prefer the drawers, which is the reason why I went for this one. It does also have wheels, which is really, really useful. I can just wheelie it along and I store my My Kit Co bag on top of the handle so nothing's going to fall out or fall off. So that is what I use, and as mentioned, I got all the My Kit Co stuff from My Kit Co and then the bag from Marketplace. So that's the bag and everything sort of from the outside. So now let's jump in and have a look at what I have got going on the inside with more details on the products I use in my kit. So starting off at the top of my kit, this is where I keep all of my brushes and my little like basic tools. This is a bag that I got from My Kit Co and it is called the My Big Brush Buddy. I did buy the bag bit itself, but I also bought the bit that comes on the outside. So this includes the couple of sections at the side here, as well as the section at the front. So that is what I got there. And when you buy the two together, it is at a really good like retail deal. So I did end up buying both of those together. So I'll show you what I've got. So I'll start off with the front here, as you can see that. So in here I have got all of my tools and essentials. So I've just got a few little sponges at the side. And then I've got a few of these in here. So these are just hair grips. And they're really good for, obviously, when you're doing the makeup, you want all the hair to be out the way. At the front here, I've got, these are like probably the most used tools that I have. It is my spatula and my palette. So I use those to keep everything clean and sanitised. I then also always carry just a little hand sanitizer, so I just pop that at the front there. And then in the back here, I have got my tweezers. I've got a couple more hair bits just there as well. But I have got my basic slanted tweezers. They're just good for multi-use. They're always worth having. And then I really, really love these tweezers. They're from a brand called Lash Star. And they're really, really great for false lashes. They're a nice length. But I also really like the end of them. You can really push a lash on. And they've just got that nice sort of curve there. So highly recommend getting these if you are a makeup artist. So that is the front section there. And then I've just got a few sections at the side. So I'll go through this one. In here I've got a couple cleaners. So I've just got my ISO Clean spray. I use that just for like my brushes and tools. And then I've also just got my 70% alcohol, which I always clean products with between clients. So I just took them at the side. I also have this mat here, and it's actually for pets when they eat their food. But I use it to put my makeup on when I'm doing a client, so it doesn't, if anything spills, it goes on this silicone mat, which is really, really easy to clean. And I got this from Amazon. I think it was something silly for like £6, but it's like really useful. and it's got a little round part at the top there, which you literally just fold over, and then I just tuck that in the side. So that's always good to keep things clean and to look out for other people's stuff. It just shows you're more professional. Then on this side here, I have got just a few basic bits. I've got a few cotton pads, and then I have got some micellar water, which I've popped in this little tub here. This is the number 7 cleansing water, and I find it's really nice. It does slightly exfoliate the skin as well, so I love using that before makeup. I then have all of my brushes at the top here. A lot of these are actually waiting to be dried because I did have a wedding recently, so they might not be included in here. But I'll show you some of my favourites that I've got that are actually dried. So I keep them ordered by section of what type of brush they are. I know some people do it by person, but I find that depending on the client, I don't always know what brush I'm going to need to use. So I prefer to have them just by what sort of brush they are. So at the back here, I've got my big powder brushes. I've got this one here from Sally Beauty, that's a nice one, but I have a lot of number 7 ones, as I find they're very, very soft and they wash well. So I keep all those there. I've then got some foundation brushes. This one is, I believe, yeah, Japanesque brush. I really, really love this brush here from Synergy. It's such a soft brush. Washes really, really well. It's a small business, I believe, but it's such a nice brush, so I love that one. I do also carry like a few sort of flat brushes. I find they're good for packing on highlighter or primers and things like that. I've then got smaller face brushes here, so again, a few more of the number 7 brushes. I've got my Zoeva brush, really nice sort of tapered at the top there, so I love those. And then just a few more, got another number 7 and an Elite brush. I've then got all of my eye brushes here, so I've got another Sally Beauty brush, but a lot of them are Spectrum. So I've got quite a few Spectrum ones. I have some Morphe ones, and I really love a flat brush like this. These are a mixture. I've got P. Louise, again another Sally Beauty. This one's Wet n Wild, more number 7. I would say I love these little number 7 ones because they're at an angle and I feel like they're really multi-use. They're good for concealer, they're good for eyes, so I love those. But these sorts of brushes are probably my favourite. I use these on absolutely every one. They're so good for primers, for glitter, for just anything on the eyes, for spot concealing. These are some of my most used brushes, so I love a little flat brush. I then have smaller face brushes here, so again I've got these little Zoeva ones. I've got a few of those. I think one's drying. They're a really nice size for a little bit more detail with blusher or bronzer. A little Japanesque one, and then a few more. That's another Zoeva one that I quite like, Real Techniques. So they're just sort of smaller face brushes that I've got at the front there. And then here I've got smaller brushes for your face again, and then eye brushes. Some of the best brushes I've ever used, again Japanesque. These are the Precision Baking. I really, really love these. They blend out concealer so well under the eye. Another one I really, really love, I've got for myself as well, is the Zoeva Concealer Blender. Such a multi-use brush, really nice size and so soft, so I love those. I love these little Morphe ones. They're quite like a wide angled brush, but they're really good for eyebrows or for liner. And then again I've got a few like highlighter brushes, so Zoeva, Spectrum. I think I've got a Real Techniques one which I really like. That's really nice for powder under the eye. So I've got a few of these sort of brushes in here, so I do have a mix of brushes. I'd probably say my favourite ones are number 7, Zoeva, and Illamasqua. I do like Spectrum as well actually, but I tend to use those brands most. So that is my brush belt. Sorry, not a brush belt, that is my brush bag. I really, really love this. I recommend it. It's got a nice sturdy handle here and then a big handle at the back there as well. So I do highly recommend these bags if you can get yourself one. They've definitely made makeup application a lot easier, so I do recommend these. Now we've done that, if I just go to the top here, I have got all of my products. So I lift that back there. At the back, I have got this sort of section that folds down, and you've got this nice little cover here. So I don't tend to put a lot in there. I keep a few brushes in there from when I just do the makeup and I have to brush a fringe out the way. It just brushes it back into place. A couple of pens in case I need them to write notes down. Got a big Morphe brush here. Bought this ages ago, years ago, but I don't really use it. But I always keep it in there just in case. You can see it's got the old Morphe logo, but this is one of the first Morphe brushes I ever bought when I first really got into makeup, so I always keep that. And then I've got my Inglot Duraline. Really, really good for eyeliner, liquid shadows, just mixing with a normal shadow. It's such like a multi-use product that you can mix with anything. It helps if a product's dried out, it helps to make it come back to life almost. But it's such a good product. I always use it for eyeliner because I find that it makes it last a lot longer. So I always just keep that tucked at the front there, just so I never forget it and I never move it out of my kit. So that's that front part there. And then that is the main section from the top. This is stuff that I tend to use more for my brides. I have got more of a kit in drawers that I like to keep just in case, loads of different random products. But this is a kit that I would typically pack for if I was doing a wedding or bridal trial. This is what I generally pack. So I'll show you what I've got. On the top here, it's all sort of moved around when I've moved my bag. I've got a couple of Morphe palettes. You can see this one's a little bit beaten up. I use this a lot, but these are face palettes. So these have got bronzers, blushes and highlighters in, and a brightener at the side here. So I use this one a lot. This is the light to medium, I believe, sort of palette. And then for deeper skin tones, I also have this one. I don't tend to use as much, but these blusher colours are really, really pretty. That's another nice one that I've got in there. A couple of smaller palettes. I've got the GXVE. Just nice neutral browns, as well as again another number 7. These are all matte colours, which is nice to have. I just like a pure matte palette. For something a little bit more cool toned, I've got the Morphe 18CT. You've got a range of colours in there, but they're all cool tone colours, which I feel like you don't get a lot of. So I'm really, really glad when I got this palette. My most used palette of all time, you can sort of see it starting to rub off here, is my Too Faced palette. So that is how that one looks there. So I use this one most of the time. It's got those really nice neutrally browns, a little bit more warmer tone and nice sparkles in there. So I use that one a lot. This is quite new to my kit. It's just the Anastasia highlighter. I've got one for myself and I use it a lot, so I thought I'd get one for my kit as well. And it's just got those nice highlighter colours, so I got one of those. I then also have this palette here, which is a really, really, really nice palette. It's so good if you're a makeup artist, if you can get your hands on this. It's such a good palette. But you have got a mixture of powders and bronzers. Then you have got blushes and highlights and shadows. So you've got absolutely everything you could need in this palette. It's just really good, and when I first started out, this is one of the first things I bought, and I just really, really love it. A nice mix of colours in the middle there, but it's got all of the essentials you need, so I really love this, and I find Pixi products are very good quality. And then I've just got a few of the biggest palettes at the bottom here. So I keep the Beauty Bay Earthy palette in there. It's not what you would expect for bridal, but these shimmer colours I tend to use a lot for brides. Specifically these ones here tend to be quite popular, so I do keep that in there. I've also got, this one's more of a bridal colour palette, but I've got the Beauty Bay Nude. I use that a lot for those browns, quite a popular one. And just in case I need it, because you never know, I like to keep one with a little bit more fun colours in. So I have also got a palette here which is full of bright colourful mattes. So I always have that one in there as well. So that is all of those. This is more of a recent thing that I've added to my kit. I found I was struggling with storage and how to get things stored and everything like that. So I ended up getting this. It is just what I needed. So in here I keep my pencil products and then cheek sort of products as well. So to start off with, we have got eyeliners. So at the front here, I've just got a few big pencils. These are all number 7. I find these are some of the best pencils I've ever used. Once they're on, they don't move. You can wipe them or touch them and go like this. They do not budge. They're so good for eyeliners, so good for eyeshadow. So I keep a nice golden colour and a couple of like a warm and cool tone brown in there. I've then got my basic eyeliners here. So I've got more light colours. So I've got a white, cream, and then I've got all my black colours, browns, a purpley brown, a blue in case I need it, and then I've got a green and a grey as well. Then for lip liners, I've got a range here as well. So I've got a couple of nudes, I've got a pinky nude, another sort of pinky brown nude, a few warmer tones, reds, berries, and then a plum colour at the end. So there's a few lip liners that I keep in there. And then all of my eyebrow pencils. So a couple of big eyebrow pencils, all of the NYX ones. I love those. I love the size of them. I find they work really, really well. I would say the blonde one comes up very yellow, so I do prefer the number 7 blonde one as it is more cool toned. So I keep the number 7 blonde one in there as well. Here I have got all my powders. So I've got a couple of Huda Beauty powders. I've put these in smaller bottles because it's so much easier to carry. And I really struggle to open powders, and I find it really embarrassing when I'm doing someone's makeup and I can't actually get into the product. So I ended up putting them here because I can actually get into these. A cupcake and a pound cake from Huda Beauty. I've got the brightening pink one. I've got an RCMA powder, which is great for all skin tones. Air-based powder, which is so finely milled, it feels so different, and it's really, really nice on mature skin. And then a translucent and medium loose powder, just a simple powder. And then at this section here, this is just sort of like a dump it section, to be honest with you. I haven't really figured out where these go, but they work well in here, so I've always kept them in here. I've just got a pressed powder from number 7. I keep a body glow in here in case any bride wants a bit of glow. She's got a strapless dress. I've got my Kiko blusher highlight. I've got my sleek highlighter palette, sort of like a shimmery bronzer from Too Faced. The Morphe ones are more matte, so I wanted a shimmer. I've then got my Anastasia blush trio. Really nice range of shades in here. So you've got ones that are a little bit more cool, warm, and then this is more of a sparkly one in the middle, which I love. And then in here I actually depotted a load of blushes and a couple of highlighters. So main ones I love are the Danetta Myricks that I've got in here. I use them most of the time. They've got a really, really nice finish on them. And then I've got LYS at the bottom as well there. And I really, really love the finish of those as well. So it's so much easier to carry, but I'm really glad I popped them in the palette. So that's something I use all the times. I use it on the lips, eyes and cheeks. So I keep all of those just sort of all tucked in there. Flatten that down. That pops quite nicely in the top there. Keeps it all secure. So that's where I put those sorts of products. This is the rest of my makeup in here. So I keep it all organised in drawers. I find it works really well, and a lot of times I find it's hard to find a table when you've got a wedding because you've got a hairstylist there and then maybe another makeup artist if they're getting ready in a hotel room. It can be really hard, and a lot of the times you actually end up having to get ready on a bed, which is really awkward for the makeup. So the drawers work really, really nicely so that I can pull things out and it's safe and nothing's going to fall, nothing's going to drop. So I'm glad about these. So I'll start off with the top drawer and work my way down. Again, they're organised by function and use, so I keep them all in that sort of section. These drawers you can, if you want to, if you've got a nice bit of table, you can actually pull them out, sit the drawers on the table, and that works nicely as well. So to start off with, I have got my skincare and primer drawer. So in here I've got like a mix of products. Main skincare, I've got little hyaluronic acid that I pop in a smaller little tube. I find it works better. Things like a lip cream, eye cream, just to keep everything hydrated. Vitamin C toner gives a really nice glow on the skin, and it makes the skin tacky, so products hold a lot better. So I'll pop a bit of this in a spray bottle. I've then got obviously the classic, the Embryolé cream, really hydrating, really, really nice, gives a really nice glow, so I keep that in there. And then this is more of a lightweight oil-free moisturiser. If you are more oily skinned, it's more suited for you, so I keep that in there as well. Then in terms of primers and things like that, again, I've got a little miniature here. This is a skin illuminator, gives a really nice glow, so you can use that as a primer or highlighter, multi-use product. I've got a few of the number 7 ones, so I love the pore minimising one, so I've got that, I use that all the time. This is very similar. If someone's got redness, this is a green one, so I keep that. And then if someone has more mature skin, the Instant Illusions is really pretty on the skin, so I've got that one. I have also got the ELF one in here. I haven't actually used it on any clients yet, so it's brand new, but I just bought it and popped it in there. As a bride said that she found it worked really, really well for her, and she struggled with her makeup, so I bought that for her wedding day. And then my most used primer of all time that I love is the Illamasqua Hydra Veil Primer. This I use it all the time. I use it on every bride, I use it on everyone, and it makes the makeup last, it makes it flawless, gives a really nice finish, and yeah, I really love it. The only thing is it's such a huge awkward sort of bottle, so I just sort of stick it in the back there and leave it be, but it's happy there. And then in terms of sprays, All Nighter, classic, always use that. I love this as well, the Iconic London. It's so nice and glowy and pretty on the skin. Nice to add with the All Nighter, so do this one between blusher and highlighter and things like that. I do this at the base and then I do this at the end. Everyone always says when I use this how nice it smells, so I like having that one in there. Next drawer down, I have got foundations and bits like that. and they're all stuck. So I've got all of my foundations in here. To start off with, I'll just jump straight into it. I've got a few of these Lottie London BB tinted moisturiser things. They're nice for things like flower girls or younger girls and weddings. They just give a bit of colour, and I have sort of narrowed this down. So this is for a trial that I'm doing soon, so I've just sort of put a range of colours in there. I've got a lot more in my drawer, but I know what sort of colour that the girl is. So if a lot of these look lighter, that is the reason, but I've got so many more in my drawer. These are just my more used products. So I've got those. Of course, I have to have the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin foundations. These do what they say, they make skin beautiful. Really, really nice formula. Easy to use, lightweight and long lasting. So I have a few of those in there. If I need to mix up a colour, I've got this. This is the Danessa Myricks palette, and it is a waterproof cream palette. So I'll show you this here. So that is what that looks like. It's good for if you've read into colour theory and you need to make up your own shade. It's really good for that, but I also use it to mix certain colours in with my foundation. If it's not quite the right undertone, I use these to make it the right undertone. So that's a really nice one as well. And then I've just got a few foundations in the front here as well. These, again, they all look light, but I know the girl who I'm doing the trial for is this sort of shade. So I've just taken a few with me here. I've got a mixture of the Too Faced Born This Way and Uoma Soft Matte. So I do tend to use those most. Like I said, I've got a lot more of these shades in my drawer, so I do carry darker shades of the same foundation in my drawer, but I'm just carrying the foundations I know that I will need, and I pop all those in there like that. So I've got all those. I do want to expand on my foundations a little bit more, but I'm currently like researching what to use, so I'm just going through that at the minute, and then hopefully I'm gonna expand this a little bit more. I have got my concealers. This is my concealer drawer. As you can see, I've just started building this out. This has got a few cream concealers in. I still need to build it out a little bit more. It's just a work in progress at the minute, but that's something that I'm looking to finish by the end of the year. Then for concealers, I have got, this is a little colour corrector for under the eyes, so something a little bit more peachy. This is from, again, Embrele. I've got a few of these number 7 ones, because they're really good if someone's got sensitive skin or they are more mature skinned, because it's a serum, it's a lot more lightweight, and they work for people that have a lot of allergies. So I do keep a few of those in there. And again, these shades are lighter, but it's due to, I know, the colour of the client that I've got coming up. I then have a few of these ones at the back here. I've got a mixture there, so there's a few of the Revolutions, and these are all decanted. So I pop those in there, and they give a really nice bit of coverage without being heavy. And some of my favourite ones that I do have in here are the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealers. So these give absolute full coverage, long lasting, waterproof. They are the best concealers that I've used, so I do keep a few of those in there as well. And then bottom drawer of this side are tools. That's not going to want to come out, so I'll just show you what I've got in here. So I've got lots of little powder puffs that are really good for obviously applying powder. I've got a bit of tape for if I need to really sharpen up a wing or certain things like that. I do like to use this. And this is a tape specifically designed for the skin, so you just do have to be careful of that. I've then got things like my spoolies, so I've got bigger ones for the top lashes and smaller ones for lower lashes. So I love these little ones that I've got. I added them recently. I have got my big cotton buds. I've got my lip applicators, and then again, these are really unique that I love. They are tiny little mini cotton buds, so they're really good for cleaning up a wing, under the eye, anything specific. They're really good for, or even creating fake freckles. They're really unique, and I got them recently for my kit. I've got a few little tubs here. I've got my eyelash curler that I use, and then just at the back here in case I need it, it's just a little eye makeup remover. So I don't tend to use that too much, but it's useful in case anyone turns up with a lot of like eye makeup on. It's always worth having. Okay, so coming on to the other side. In here, it's again quite minimal because I've popped a lot of eye stuff now in the My Kit Co bag, but I've got brows and liners. So I've got this little brow palette with a few cooler tones in, and then I did buy this P. Louise one. I haven't used it a lot because I find them quite warm. so I've got that one as well just in case. I've also got a couple of, these are quite new, these are the number 7 brow powders. Again, I find their cool tones really are cool. So it's a cooler one and then a bit of a warmer one. This is new, the Anastasia Brow Freeze. Really, really love this. I find it holds the brows down without going cakey or crusty, and it's really nice. I've got a clear brow and lash perfector, so little flower girl wants clear mascara. It's a bit like that, so I've got that in there. And then I've also got the e.l.f. brow glue because it's better than the Anastasia one, so I keep that one in there instead. And I mean the other Anastasia, not this Anastasia. This is the best one, the one that looks like this. So got those in there. At the back here I have got a few liners, so I've got the Kiss black liner, which I use a lot, and then the Illamasqua brown liner, which is a really, really nice brown colour. And then at the very, very back there, I have got my mascara, which I always use a waterproof, and this is the Soap and Glory Thick and Fast waterproof. Next drawer, I have got sort of products for the eyes. So all of these P. Louise bases. I've got the lighter shades, darker shades, white. So they're really good as an eye primer. I always use these as an eye primer and they work best. So I've got those. I've got a little single shadow at the back here, which I just think it's a really pretty sparkly colour for brides. So keep that in there. A couple of the Cover Effect colours, so these are more warmy pinky tones, they're quite popular. And then for certain people that want something a little bit more glittery, these P. Louise ones are really good for that, so I keep those in there. Coming down one more, I've got my lips, so obviously I've got all my lip liners in this bag at the top. In here I keep more of my lipsticks, so this is my beloved View Set palette with all of my lipsticks in. Keep a range of colours in here. I can mix them around. I know some of them look really bright, but I can mix them to fit a certain colour someone's looking for. So I keep those. Something else that's definitely worth keeping in. This is an Illamasqua white lipstick. So if anyone wants a lighter colour, I mix this and it makes that colour lighter. So I keep that in there. I've got this in here. I can't really put it in the palette, but it's a very, very pale pink, so I can mix that in as well. And then the rest of what I've got in this section here are glosses. So I love the Fenty gloss. That's a really nice one, especially for summer brides, so I like those. Kiko ones are very popular, as well as the peaches and cream, so I use those a lot. I've got this nice pretty pink sparkly one, which actually is very popular with brides, and then a couple of the Helen E glosses, which are good if people have more sensitive skin. And then to finish off at the bottom here, I keep all of my lashes, so I've got a few of the Isla volume ones at the back. These aren't as popular, and then a few of the much bigger lashes as well that I keep at the back there. I've got a pair of scissors to cut them down. I use the Duo Lash Glue, so I've got the white one which dries clear, as well as the black one, so keep those in the front. Some more tweezers, and then I do actually pop all of my lashes in this sort of section here. This is what I'm taking with the trial, but I have got a lot more lashes in my other makeup section in my drawers that I keep, but these tend to be most popular. So I've got the Wispies by Ardell, Demi Wispies, and then the Natural by Salon Services, so I keep those in there as well. So that is pretty much all of my kit that I'm taking with me, that I take to most sort of appointments. Like I said, I've got more in my drawer, more shades depending on who the appointment is for. I've got other little bits that I haven't quite depotted yet that I need to depot. So I have got a range of products, but that is what I've got in my kit at the moment. It's what I tend to use most of all and what is most popular. That's also how I organise my kit, what I do, sort of how I keep it stored, and I find this method works really, really well for me, so that's what I tend to do. So that was my makeup kit. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions at all on anything that I've shown you today, please do let me know and I'll be happy to help. I'd love to do an updated makeup kit at some point soon. I am planning on sort of rejigging my kit around and changing some of the products I have in there. So once I have done that, I will definitely do an updated kit tour. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching.